appears I am informed of quite the news sweeping across the seven seas. The One Piece is real. Yeah, because that joke hasn't been done before. Let's roll the video, shall we? Hey everybody, it's your boy Hunter back at it again with another video. I have noticed that One Piece has been trending as of lately, and while I was scrolling on Twitter, I'm not calling it that other name. Fuck you. I scrolled upon a post. I forgot the user, so I'm sorry. But that post said, the Straw Hat Pirates from One Piece. What team of Pokemon would they have? So naturally, knowing this channel, a mission had to be accomplished. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Please. Please. Anyway, let's go on with the video, shall we? So, for the Straw Hat Pirates, of course we gotta start with Luffy. You know, he will be king of the pirates one day. So, at first, I gave him Infernape and Nihilape. Because, you know, Monkey D. Luffy, haha. Infernape as well because of his, you know, red hot, you know, punches. Gyarados, kind of to symbolize on his origin when that Sea King was about to eat him and Shanks kind of stopped him by telling it basically swipe or no swiping. So, you know, a Sea King being for the King of the Pirates I feel like would be very useful. And as well as Nidoking. Also to commemorate the time where Luffy had to fight that poison dude and survived. Yeah. Work with me here, okay? I also gave him Snorlax because Luffy is in love with one thing. Food. Food, he loves food. What does Snorlax love? Food. He loves to eat. Despite being the more resting Pokemon than the eating, like Munchlax, I still feel like it works. And finally, Golden Go, to represent the treasure, the One Piece that he is looking for so hard. And, yeah, that would be Luffy's team. Moving on to his number one, Zoro. That's right. His first mate, I gave him the starter Sceptile, because it is green, and it has blades. Other bladed Pokemon I gave him was Ceruledge and Gallade. Gallade is also a very loyal Pokemon, so being how loyal Zoro is to Luffy, I felt like this definitely fits. I also gave him Aegislash because, you know, it's the sword Pokemon. Zoro is all about swords, so I feel like it would be injustice had I not given this. I also decided to give him Cleavor. I know I can definitely see him with a Scyther, but if you've seen these videos, you know how this goes. I kind of give him a full evolved team. No, it is not balanced, but it's going to make sense just for the character, just because I love to do this. Now, while I can see Zoro with a Scyther, I can't see him with a Scizor, per se. However, because of the time Zoro had to learn to cleave through metal, you see where this is going, I gave him Cleavor, you know, to, you know, learn to cleave better. I also gave him Probobass, so maybe he won't get lost as often, because Probobass is a compass. So there you go. Next, we're going to move on to Nami. Now, given her starter, I decided to go with Primarina. Felt like Primarina definitely fit. I also gave her Lapras because I felt like before she met Luffy and Zoro, this was a nice traveling companion type of Pokemon. Very cute for her to have. Because she also, you know, thieves and steals, I decided Liepard was also another good one. Because of her weather manipulating abilities, I gave her Altaria, the Clouded Bird, and Castform. Because, you know, tempos and all that. And finally, I decided Luxray, sort of a combination for the last two categories, due to the lightning manipulating in her weather tempos, and also because of the burglary, cat burglar type of vibe she kind of gives. Also, I feel like Luxray would be a really good companion because it has X-ray vision, so it could probably see where to find the treasure. So I feel like Luxray would definitely be a good companion for her. Next, we're gonna go to Usopp. God Usopp. You know what starter we're gonna give this guy, and it would be Inteleon. Inteleon is the sniper Pokemon. Usopp is the sniper of the group. You know what it is. I also gave him Octillery because of different artillery that he kind of collects with him, given the time where he fought Luffy. He used a wide set of just tricks and traps and skills he had with that. Speaking of traps, I gave him Galarian Stunfisk because, you know, tricks and traps. Due to how he's able to manipulate those special type of plant things, I also gave him Carnivine and Victory Bell. Figured those two would work really well. I also gave it Whimsicott, not only because of that, but because it's a little prankster critter, and you know, Usopp is kind of like that. He likes to, you little prankster, little thievery, little poke, tee run away. Next, we're gonna move on to Sanji. Sanji, you already know his starter's gotta be Blaziken. It's no one else but Blaziken. Come on. I also, because of his kicking ability, I gave him Hitmonlee. Felt like that would be a good justice for him. The rest of his team is more like, because Sanji is the chef of the crew, I decided to give him some stuff that would help, definitely, with his more chef prowess. So I gave him Rotom Fridge Form. Good place to store all the food, especially. Doc's Bund. Thank goodness for Gen 9. Got that sweet, sweet bread. Also a loyal companion. Given how it's, loyal, the crew, dog, loyal, you see where it's going. I gave it Arbolivia, the olive branch thing. I gave it Arbolivia because you know what's really good when you start cooking? That olive oil, you already know. And Torkoal kind of just, you need a stove. Also, again, the fiery kicks. Here's another Firemon to work with. I'm also pretty sure when he was in his little powered outfit, it had some stealth options, and stealth and smoke work really together, really good together. Torkoal could sneeze smoke. There you go, some stealth for you. A lot of good options here. Next, you're gonna go for my boy, my favorite member of the Straw Hats, Chopper. Chopper, I decided to give him Meganium for a starter because a lot of flowers can be used for healing and such, and I can definitely see Chopper using the flower around Meganium's neck for very good healing purposes. For Chopper is the doctor of the crew. Other healing mon I decided to lend him was Blissey and Audino. Reasons why? I don't know. And that's the part where everyone dislikes the video. Because he's the doctor of the group, I felt like Blissey and Audino could definitely help with that. Other than that, he's a reindeer, so gave him Weird Ear. And because he is able to turn into a big hulking badass creature, I also decided to give him Slacking and Beware. And especially Beware because cute and cuddly will fucking kill you. Robin. Robin was actually a little difficult to come up with, but I think I came up with a decent team for her. For her starter, I gave her Incineroar. Mainly because, her Devil Fruit allows her to summon hands. And while I did also give her Barbaracle, who is quite literally the hand Pokemon, he's not really a hand starter, but she, this thing is definitely a beast of a creature with big, meaty claws. I figured it worked. Also, it's Dark type, and at first Robin was not a good character. If anything, she was kind of on the route of the bad guys. So, given how Incineroar is represented to be the bad guy type of wrestler, I figured it also fit. As for the team, there is a dog barking outside. Sorry about that. As far as the rest of her team, I decided to give her Gardevoir because despite being a, bad guy at first, she became a very loyal member of the Straw Hat crew. And, Gardevoir being the loyal, whimsical, you know, Pokemon she is, I think that would definitely fit for Robin. I also gave her Sigilif and Runerigus because she enjoys archaeology and mystery of the past, and I definitely feel like these two Pokemon definitely fit that. And finally, Ninetales, simply because other than her being a fiery passion person, Incineroar, but it is said in Ninetales Pokedex, if you ever touch Ninetales' tail, you will be cursed. Robin believed for a long time that she was cursed forever for whoever she was with for a long period of time. People would just leave or die or whatever. And, I felt like that definitely fit very well with this Pokemon. So next we're going to move on to Frankie. Frankie, he's the big dude with the cannon, so of course I gotta give him Blastoise. Because he's also the ship helm, I also gave him Delmise. Excuse me, and Conkeldurr. I definitely feel like that would have fit. Going back to the cannon thing, I also gave him Golurk, also because he's a really big dude who has a similar body type. I gave him speech. I also gave him no speech. I also gave him Pyroar because of the Sunny Leon, the new ship name for the Straw Hat crew, the lion head, and he's got like a fiery personality too. And finally I gave him Palafin because he's super. Moving on. Alright, next we're going to move on to Brook, my second favorite. Brook, for this, his starter has to be Skeledirge. It's a ghost type, Day of the Dead, but also loves to, create music. I was thinking to do Rillaboom, but seeing as how I've pursued Brook more of a singer than a guy who plays percussion, you know what it is. Also, the ghost type just fit way too well. Though I did give him music like Pokemon, such as Kricketune and Toxtricity. You have the guy with the strings, and then you got Toxtricity. He's a living guitar lizard, so I feel like that definitely fits. And other than Diggy Weep, I also gave him other ghost-type Pokemon, such as Alolan Marowak, Dusknoir, and Frostlass. Specifically Frostlass, because recently he's learned to do some ice tricks with his Devil Fruit ability. So I definitely feel like that fit. Next we're going to go on to Jinbei. Jinbei, for his starter, I decided to give him Greninja. I don't recall if I've ever seen this in the anime, but from Smash Brothers, I've seen Greninja use water to create weapons. As a fishman, Jinbei is able to manipulate water into certain constructs as well, so I felt like that definitely fit. Also, how fast Greninja is versus how fast Jinbei is in the water, it just fit. I also gave him really good martial art Pokemon such as Hariyama, Sawk, and Pangoro. I just definitely felt like that fit with Jinbei's fighting style. Could have given him Throw, to be honest, but I definitely felt like Sawk just fit a little more. To also represent, him being a fishman, I also still gave him Dondozo, because there's a big fish, and Sharpedo, because, again, it just all fit nicely. And finally, I don't think he's an official crew member, but for the sake of this, why not? Let's give Yamato a team. So, for Yamato, his team is going to consist of the starter Charizard, due to his ties of Kaido. That was his name. Kaido. Due to him being the son of Kaido. And he's a dragon. He's got a fiery passion. I gotta stop using that excuse to build someone's team. I also gave him Corviknight due to his necessary need to one day be Odin, and while not the same Odin as Norse mythology. You know, when my brain heard Odin, brain thought of ravens, and it just fit naturally. Also, Yamato carries a big giant club, which reminded me of Tinkaton, but I didn't want that to be an excuse to give Yamato a Tinkaton. So Corviknight just works fine. Also decided to give him Alolan Ninetales and Night Form Lycanroc. Honestly, I could see any form of Lycanroc, but Night Form just fits personally well in my brain due to Yamato's Devil Fruit. As well as giving him Grimmsnarl, despite being, you know, a fairy type, it's still strong and tough and amazing. While Yamato, you know, being very attractive and, you know, have, you know, feminine features despite being a guy. He is identified as a male, and we respect them. And finally, I decided to give him Azumarill. Being that he is a Devil Fruit user, I wanted some, you know, of the Devil Fruit users in this list to have a water type. Wait a minute. It looks like Brook and Chopper don't have a water type. Ah, they got Jinbei, they'll be fine. I felt like every Devil Fruit user, aside from Chopper and Brook's list, to have a water type in case like they fall over and it's just like, oop, you'll be fine. And if not, they got Jinbei, as I said. But fun fact, and I believe it's from Azurill to Meryl, you have a chance for the gender to switch, being Yamato being born female, but he identifies as male, which everyone should respect, by the way. And, you know, me, I gotta, like, boost it all the way. So it's Azumarill now. That is the teams that I have made for all of the Straw Hat crew members for a Pokemon team. That is all. I believe this is the part of the video where I throw a book behind me. And you would be right. So, what Pokemon can you see these Straw Hat members have instead that I have not listed? Is there a better reason you would see them have that team member? Is there a Pokemon you kind of don't agree with that I've already said? Let's have a nice friendly comment discussion down below. Make sure you like, favorite, comment, subscribe. It always does help the channel. And until then, I have some treasure to find. Bye.